This is day 130, and today we are looking at downloading email attachments. So here what we are looking at is if you want to download on a daily basis or on a regular basis email attachments from a particular email, so a specific email, and you want to download the attachment and save it into a specific directory, how do you then do that? So if you remember, day before yesterday, we looked at how you can make use of how you can get data from the body of the email and use it in this report. So today we want to download an attachment from this email. This is an attachment. We don't have anything in the email body. On the body of the email, we don't have anything. How then do we get this attachment and save it into this folder? So you can see we have up to day 14. We want to bring in day 15 into the folder. Then once we bring day 14, we then refresh this report and be able to automate it. So this can be part of the automation I showed you yesterday. So to just show you how they tie all in together, here I'm just saying here if I run O, it will go to extract email from Outlook, which is the one we use to extract data from the body of the email. But if we want to turn on this one, this specific one, to download an attachment, we can just comment on this one and uncomment this line here. Okay, let's go back to the download attachment. All right, cool. So how is the procedure working? So this is the sub procedure. So it's saying download first and read email. It's downloading an email from a specific email, which is this Gmail here. So the first thing we need to do is define the objects we want to use. So here, if you remember, yesterday I looked at the difference between early and late binding. Here I'm defining my OLAP as an object and not as Outlook object. So this is late binding I'm using here. So I'm using late binding to create or to define my objects. Now I have these objects. You'll see here, I will then create an instance, an Outlook instance. Here I'm now attaching the object to or assigning the objects to Outlook application. Then I can assign Outlook properties. Okay, so after I define the generic object, I go on and define the new file name. The file name is going to be a string that I'll use. So for example, 14.xlx is going to be my file name. So for the 15th, I would then just say day. Then I use the now formula to get today's date. Then I just then concatenate it with the extension of the file. So you have to put the extension of the file so that it can be saved as an Excel document. Then this folder is where I want to save it. So I want to save it into this particular folder here. So that's why I put this whole string here, which you can get by clicking in the address box here. Then you can just paste it over here. Then here, as I mentioned, it's now assigning the object or the generic object to Outlook.application. Then after I assign it and I set these also properties of Outlook, I then say I want to check if I have any emails from this mail727379 Gmail. So I'm checking if I have any email from this particular email address. So if my email address is equals to 0, then I send a message to say there is no email from this particular email address, but then I immediately exit sub, so which means that I don't go on and do these procedures. I just end there because there is no email from this email address. You can also specify many restrictions here. You can add restrictions to restrict only to unread email from that particular mailbox. So you can put the first if is to restrict to this particular mailbox. Then the second if is now to restrict it to check if it's read or unread. Then the third restriction is to check if it is a particular subject. So you can do that, you can do many ifs here. Then the next thing I'm now doing here is now for each email from that particular email address. So I've checked, I have the email from that email address. Then here I just now restrict my emails to this email address and loop through those emails looking for attachments now. So I'm now checking for attachment, then saying if there is if the attachment is 0 or is not equal to 0, then I download the attachment and save it to the folder, which is this string of the folder, and I just concatenate it with the name of the file. Then I exit if I find the attachment. So I'm just saving the first attachment. But if I don't find the attachment in the emails, then I would say the first or the email does not have an attachment. So it will be the first email which doesn't have an attachment. So let's just see how it works. Okay, I'm pressing F8. So here I have created my object, right? Then now I am assigning, you see at this point, this object actually is currently holding nothing because it's just an object that have been created, but it's set to nothing. Now I set it to Outlook. That's the object. Then I set this one, then I set this one. It's also important to remember that these properties of this first object needs to come after or to be set after you have set this primary object here. Because if you set before this one, it's going to give you an error and say that it cannot be bound. Okay, now here I'm restricting my emails. Then it picked up that I have an email, so that's why it jumped these 2 lines here, because the count is not equal to 0. Then it goes on. Now it's going to loop through the emails from mail 1727379. Okay, then now it's checking for attachment. If attachment is not equal to 0, so which means we have an attachment. So it's now going in, I have an attachment, and now it's saving to the string folder. Look at how we have this, a new file here, day 15. Once I go to the next, once I click F8 again, you see there is a file for day 15. Then that's it, and it ends up. Then I can obviously come here and just refresh my my report. Let me just go to data and refresh. Okay, then it's refreshing. All right, let's see. Now we have day 15. So there is day 15. We have the results for day 15. Then we can email this report. Okay. So this is how you can make use of the download attachment functionality or download attachment VBA code. So this code, I'm going to again paste it on my, I'll give you the link where you can find this VBA code and you can just copy it and use it as you wish. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and also to hit the notifications button so that you can be notified when I upload new videos in future. Thank you. Bye-bye.